Hello everyone, I'm John. I'm the Growth and Partnership Lead at Playable Factory. Today I'm going to talk about a better way of advertising and how to support mobile marketers in UA managers while creating lovable and effective content. Before starting, I would like to say there's a famous quote coming from the founding father of modern advertising, David Ogilvy. He said, if you want to advertise fire extinguishers, you should always open your ad with fire. So at first, you should show the exact problem to your users and then your solution for that specific problem. So today, if I'm going to talk about better way of advertising, I should start by showing you some fire, the fire. The fire at the moment for advertisers and digital marketers is Gen Z, or generally speaking, I should say the next generation. We know that they're born with technology at their fingertips and are now approaching adulthood, which means they'll be able to shape the future of advertising via their behaviors and tendencies. Their lives have been shaped by a digital age, and brands that most want to appeal to them often struggle to understand what differences are very relevant to marketers today. So we know that the opinions and behaviors of Gen Z has an immediate and also long-term impacts on how the marketing landscape develops itself. Understanding these post-millennials and future generations will therefore impact all kinds of brands, gaming or non-gaming, not just those targeting young consumers. If we dive deeper into some research results about Gen Z, we'll have to face some negative approach toward our business models. Recent studies have shown that Gen Z demographic in particular has a shorter attention span than a previous generation, and I think we already know this. They're more likely to avoid, skip, and block ads. So that's one of the biggest problems we face right now. They have a lower threshold for boredom. It's easy to understand this tendency, of course, because of social media apps like TikTok, Snapchat, or Instagram Reels. Now they are used to see a real short, fun, and engaging content. So that's why they prefer short and fun content for ads also. It feels more natural for them when they see something familiar with what they're used to. So they usually prefer ads that aim to engage or entertain them. They want the opportunity to interact with ads and to receive rewards, of course, for their engagement. This shows the time they spend during ads shouldn't be uh, unrewarded or returned. Finally, as we know, mobile devices are becoming the main devices. In Gen Z, they're all more tied to their mobile devices at the moment. So this is the real problem, blocking the ads, not loving the ads, or I can say hating the ads. Uh, the fire at the moment we face as digital marketers and UI managers. We can also explain this with the term ad fatigue. It refers to getting tired of or no longer being engaged by your ads. Uh, One concept or design can only appeal to so many users, and eventually everyone who could be interested will have seen the ad or downloaded the game. This is when the ad becomes ineffective and users start to ignore it, feeling they see too many ads or see the same ads over and over again. The best way to combat this problem is to constantly refreshing your and iterating your ads. You need to steadily bring up new concepts while iterating proven concepts. I'll also mention about this iteration process in the upcoming pages. So, how should we engage with Gen Z while they are blocking the ads or not loving our ads or hating our ads? Actually, buying more non-skippable content and removing their control is not a recommended option. It's likely to result in a backlash both to the individual advertiser and ultimately to the entire industry when this frustration results in more people unfortunately installing ad blocking softwares. So it doesn't help. Given this, The only real way forward for gaming and non-gaming brands is to create content that will stop Gen Z in their tracks. That means in order to change the perception in the eyes of the new generation, we should start to create something new in parallel with their tendencies. So we need to rely more on a new way of app marketing or digital marketing. So what's there awaiting for us at the end of this tunnel? You see a little guy at the end of the tunnel, but I'll explain later on who is that. So at the moment, let's check another thing. Maybe you have heard about this code as well. Nobody reads advertising. People read what interests them, and sometimes it's an ad. It's said by Howard Luck Gossage back in 50s, and I'm pretty sure it still sounds familiar to us. So if we modernize this code, we should say nobody reads or watches advertising. People watch and get engaged with what interests them, for sure, and sometimes it's an ad. While thinking about the tendencies of new generations, especially of Gen Z, it's good to twist this code a bit more and make it like watching or reading the ad, even it's interesting, cannot be more engaging than playing the ad itself. So yes, we are going towards the solution for the fire. So the guy at the end of the tunnel was Puffy. Puffy is our chief happiness officer at Playable Factory, and he thinks that the solution for all these problems, for the fire that I mentioned, is definitely playable and interactive ad contents. Why he thinks like that? Because it's easy to answer this question. Because playable ads rise above other formats in mobile advertising. Recent studies showing that playable ads have proven to be a clear winner for mobile marketer needs. These studies are showing that playable ads have the most affordable cost per install. For instance, Magna Global's report on effectiveness of ad types stated that interactive ads prolongs consumer attention by 47%. And in addition to that, the coactive nature of interactives and playables are 32% more memorable, which is very important, than conventional and non-interactive ads. And they can also have 3 times higher conversion rates than traditional video ads. In addition to this research, the global study Mobile Ads Creative Index, which analyzed trends across 4 key app verticals, gaming, e-commerce, finance, and entertainment, showed that playable ads have the most affordable cost per install, landing at $1.97, well below the average of $3.79 for other ad formats, making playable ads an attractive format for game marketers. But of course, not only for game marketers, because also non-gaming brands are started to use this ad format, playable and interactive ad format. The mobile gaming industry has a rich heritage, we all know this, of driving innovation and creativity in the mobile advertising world. From developing new ad formats to putting rigorous A/B testing at the heart of their product, mobile games are often the trendsetters for the wider mobile ecosystem. Of course, one such innovation is playable and interactive ads. The new kid on the block, we can still say this, as far back 2016, they're now everywhere in mobile gaming and heavily relied on for user acquisition. By offering users interactive experiences and with robust calls to action, playable ads grab more attention, measurably boost conversion and retention rates, and deliver higher eCPM. They're a world away from 30-second long static interstitial ads that users might otherwise be locked into weaving. As well as playable for mobile games, gamified brand experiences have become increasingly common also, with the ad format tailored to provide a variety of calls to action beyond installs. So yes, we can understand that this is a natural progression of the success of playable ads and part of a growing trend of gamification across the entire app ecosystem in response to increasing consumer next generation's unresponsiveness to traditional digital ad formats, and targeting using personal data. So let's dive deeper into the answer of this question: how we can make our ads lovable. I'm going to tell you 10 ways to make your interactive content, so-called playable ads, smoother and better. But at first, we should remind ourselves that great marketing doesn't and also shouldn't feel like marketing. So the content we show to our users should be natural, friendly, funny, short, exciting, engaging, and very, very easy to understand. Before putting your creativity to work, it's essential to build a creative strategy for your campaign. So effective strategic planning starts with gathering information on your competition and market trends, knowing your app, as well as understanding your target audience and user experience. So, at first, research your market and competition. Make sure that you make data-driven decisions and you understand your audience and user experience. After all of these, we can start 10 steps on how to make ads more lovable. So let's begin. The first one I will suggest is nudging. This is more like a theoretical thing, but I wanted to start with this. Nudge theory is a concept in behavioral sciences that proposes a positive reinforcement and indirect suggestions as ways to influence the behavior and decision making of groups and individuals. In order to achieve this, for instance, you can show a drowning character at the beginning of your playable and ask for help, or a moving door, constantly moving door of a room, just to create a curiosity for your users, for them to know what's behind the door. So they should willingly act and tap on the screen and get engaged with your ad. That's a usage of nudging. And second one, avoiding any friction, like start button. Because people seeing your ad were already having fun, watching something or playing their game. So if you want to show them anything, please do it without any friction or additional step like start button. And don't forget, you are the one requiring for an attention. So don't make it hard for people, for anyone. Just be kind and make it smooth as possible. They should experience your ad smoothly. The third one, the best way to make it smooth, showing the core gameplay or app experience with a very simple tutorial in the beginning, so they can immediately understand the concept and start to engage with it. Also in the beginning or at the end, don't forget that it's an ad and not just your game or your gamified content. So it's important to add some short cinematic entrance to attract more eyes, to more attention. We are doing this in our playables with changing camera angles at the beginning, showing the end of the level before starting, showing the target in the beginning, or turning around the boss character before the fight starts, for instance. It's good to add this cinematic approach, especially if you have a 3D game. I don't think I should explain this step actually, but it's important to require no skill. Your ads should be very, very easy to understand. People don't have time for your overcomplicated stuff. As I said, they're already having fun with their app or game. So make sure that there is nothing hard to understand in your ad flow or mechanics. Always use in-game call to action buttons, because you never know when your potential users want to pull the parachute, That's the case. If they like your ad, they can immediately want to get the app. So they shouldn't wait till the end of the playable ad. If they like it, they can easily, immediately download your app from via in-game call to action button. Rewards. Very important step. Give your potential users just one task to complete at first, and then you can give them instant gratification, instant rewards. This is important and crucial because people are always looking for more while they spend their precious time. Behavioral speaking also, don't forget the dopamine effect and instant gratification need of your viewers. They should understand there's something more, something for them inside the end or at the end of the ad or in your app. So don't forget, they're losing their time by spending their time while watching or seeing your ad. So in return, it's better to give them something back as a reward. Timing and countdown. You can create excitement in the ad with a timing to create more challenging content because people love challenges like racing against time. It also creates a FOMO effect, fear of missing out effect. So it's important to add this feature to your ad. So just use the timing effect. Accelerate and simplify. This is also important because you should know less is more. Make sure that the ad is for relaxing and passing the time. As I said before, the ad viewer has no time for your overcomplicated content. So if you have a really complicated game or app, you should definitely make it simple as possible and accelerate it. The ad doesn't have to be literally exact gaming or app experience. It's an ad, so make it accelerated and make it simple. Option for restart, because everybody deserves a second chance. Do this while promising more to your users. Give out rewards and let them know there are more, and give them possibility to restart the game again and again. So it's a good option for them to make a decision later on. Doing all these steps may not be good enough, of course. You also need to track your performance of your ad, and according to your feedback coming directly from your potential users, you should be able to edit and iterate your content as well. And as Playable Factory, we have a platform called Gearbox for this need. It's a place where you can create and iterate your own playable and interactive ads and also track their performances. So you can decide which version is working best or how to improve your existing versions. They're all ready to use on all well-known ad networks, and you don't need to know any programming knowledge while doing all these changes and improvements. Other things you can do with the platform, you can easily localize your content for different marketing regions by editing text and track your users and see what happens inside the playable ad. For instance, you can see where most of your users are tapping on your ad and realize the best performing version while obtaining database insights about your potential users. The heat mapping is crucial because it's easier to understand if your gameplay is being played or not. Sometimes the tappings can be concentrated on top left or right corners of the screen, where you can understand users are trying to escape or close the ad. And that's how you can understand also there's something needs to change, and you should make your interactive content more frictionless and attractive to your users. Once a creative idea proves effective, you want to optimize it and generate as many ads as possible that leverage its success. To optimize a successful creative, change only one parameter each time and measure its impact on your performance. For example, you can change just the character's color or the call to action message in the beginning. Changing this one variable at a time will allow you to learn and track the most effective component of your ad, for sure. There are many other factors driving the growth and interactive ad growth of playable and interactive ad formats, such as higher quality graphics, easy to use quiz or fake playable templates, which you can use it with your videos. So don't hesitate to use alternatives and discover new possibilities. I should also say playable and interactive ad formats are not only for mobile devices, they can be used on websites and even on smart TVs. For instance, last year we have created this playable for smart TV where users could start to play the ad via the banner on the TV screen by using their remote controller. So it gained a huge success after this ad. Understanding your existing playable performance and improving it according to database results is important. We also have our platform's graphics editor feature for this need. It mainly gives you ability to create infinite versions of your creative content with different visual effects. So you are not dependent on an agency or your developer team, marketing team for all of these changes anymore. You can filter your playable in real time very easily and publish the new filtered version. So finally, I would like to summarize all of these things in three magical words: create, perform, and grow. In order to make the ads lovable, we need to be creative and perform well, tracking our performance all the time. We should iterate our content with our feedback from our potential users. So at the end, thanks to these feedbacks and improvements, we can grow. That's the main goal for all gaming and non-gaming brands, apps, and companies. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope we can make ads lovable together in very soon future.